Okay, so I'm now going to show you how to make, on a smaller scale, the potatoes that we're going to have today. So these are the kind of twice baked, smashed, stuffed potato. And while that's cooking, I'm going to show you how to make cashew sour cream that you could use as a topping. And you can use it pretty much for anything as well that you would use sour cream because it's delicious and nutritious. So I'm just going to use one potato. I have already cooked the massive amount of potatoes that we're going to use tomorrow, or that you're going to taste in class. But this is great. Have you ever cooked potatoes and said like, oh, gee, like boiled potatoes, and then like been, what do I do with these potatoes now that they're cooked and in my fridge? This is such a great way to batch prep for the beginning of the week. So cooking a big, batch of potatoes and keeping them in your fridge, you could make an easy lunch or dinner out of this simply by using the potatoes that you've already cooked in the fridge. So they're already cooked. You save that cooking time. You just basically have to crisp them up. And so in class, I'll be doing big sheet pans of these. But for all intents and purposes now, because I don't want to waste all the potatoes because I need them tomorrow, I'm going to show you with one. And the great thing also about using potatoes after they've been cooked and cooled for at least a day is that cooked potatoes, even cooked pasta, when it's been pre-cooked and sat overnight in a fridge, it actually releases something called resistant starch. And resistant starch is a prebiotic. It really feeds your microbiome. And you know what I mean when I say that, because we've just had a lesson on the microbiome. So it's a kind of starch that the only purpose it really serves in our body is to feed those bacteria. And so when we cook potatoes and let them cool, it actually increases the resistant starch. So these potatoes, which normally have a lot of fiber, now are supercharged with resistant starch on top of their fiber. This is a super low calorie creation. And, when you cook it and then top it with certain toppings, you can make a delicious and very satisfying meal. Remember, starches, whole food vegetable starches, so starchy vegetables are very good for satiation. They make you feel full. You can't have lettuce and salads all day. You'd just be hungry all the time. These are what actually create satiety and fullness. So don't be afraid of these kind of foods. So again, I'm only going to demonstrate this with one potato just so you have it on record as to what I did in class. So basically, this is a pre-cooked potato. It's a little soft, you can see. And so you take your group of potatoes, I'm only going to do with one, and you cut it in the middle. And you can see it's cooked, right? It's soft in the middle. This is a yellow russet potato. I wanted a Yukon Gold. I could not find them in the grocery store yesterday, so I stuck with this one, but I find this works really well with Yukon Gold potatoes. They're just a bit creamier, but this will work just fine. So there's two ways to do this. You could keep them halved like this, or you could cut them into like fries, like those kind of potato wedges, and you could do the same thing. But I'm going to do what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I'm basically going to kind of just almost rough up the insides of each one. You could also smash it a bit with your fork. If you have the mini potatoes, you could just smash them. So cook the mini potatoes, keep them in your fridge, take them out and smash each one with a potato masher, just like that. You can see they're just flattened out a bit and roughed up in the middle, okay? That will allow everything, all the spices to get inside when they reheat in the oven/air fryer. Okay, so you've got the plain potato, and basically now you're just gonna add your topping. So my go-to toppings or seasoning for potatoes is garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of sea salt or herbamar. This is the kind of diluted with herb sea salt. And I love nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast adds a cheesy-like flavor to things. The only caveat to using nutritional yeast is if you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Nutritional yeast has been linked to flare-ups. A weak association, but still I would avoid it if you suffer from Crohn's or colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, not irritable bowel disease. So you can use this for irritable bowel disease as well. Oops, I'm just going to check here. Got it. Hopefully you still see me. Okay. So I'm going to use this too to give it a bit of a cheesy flavor. You'll see what I mean when you taste these if you try them in class. So basically, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm not even measuring things out. I just sprinkle them. If this were, I would do this on a large sheet pan if I'm putting them in the oven. I would use parchment paper to line my sheet pan so it avoids, again, oil or butter or anything on the base, right? We're reducing the fat by doing that. So I've got some onion powder. Then I would sprinkle all across. So I would do this on a big sheet pan. I would just sprinkle all over top each one. So sprinkle some garlic powder. And then I would sprinkle just a wee, it's not coming out. So you can see how much I'm using there. Okay. A wee little bit of sea salt. Okay. Just to flavor it. You can avoid that too. If you want to make it salt-free, that's great, because the garlic and onion powder do add a lot of flavor. And then the nutritional yeast, and I load up the nutritional yeast. It just kind of coats it. And then again, you can kind of just pack it all in again. I also like a little pepper because, you know, pepper is good on everything. And that's it. So super simple. Like, I wish there was more to it than that. Now, you can put it in the oven or air fryer just like this. If you want to get it a little bit crispier, then an alternative to brushing oil or dabbing oil or dropping oil on it would be to use something like this, which it's by Chosen. I cut off the label there, but Chosen Foods. I got a dual pack at Costco. You can get these at most grocery stores, usually in the organic section. It's just avocado oil spray. Okay. There's no other PCBs or anything like that. It's expeller pressed, naturally refined, and it has a high heat. It has a high smoke point, so it doesn't burn and it won't release any bad carcinogenic kind of chemicals. I'm just noticing that my cupboard is open behind me, so you can see my mess. Anyhow, so a light spray of this, not a long spray, but just a little light spray will just allow your potatoes to crisp up a bit. And tomorrow, when you're trying these in class, you're going to get the version that has a little bit of a spray. And this is like literally how little. I'm going to do a close up. That's it. That's it. Just a little spray. You can barely even see it on there, but just that little spray will add not a whole lot of calories. In fact, very few, but will also enhance the flavor. And then you can also, if you just kind of got one corner, just kind of spread it out there. Okay. So in the oven, I would be putting these at 400 and just bake them until I see that they are golden on top, maybe a little browned as well, and heated through. Remember, they're already cooked, so you don't have to wait that time of waiting for them to cook. This is super fast. Now, in an air fryer, if you have an air fryer, it's even quicker. I put it in the air fryer at 400 and literally within like 8 to 10 minutes, it will come out. So I'm going to try that right now to see if I can spend less than that time making the cashew sour cream. But then in the meantime, you'll be able to see kind of how short it takes and what they look like when they're done. So I'm just going to set my air fryer. I don't spray the bottom. It's a no stick pan. I just put them like this on the air fryer. If you have more than that, you can just line them up. And again, set to air fry, 400. It's set for 20 minutes. It won't take that long, although it does have to heat up. So that's going to run in the background. So that's going in the background. Now we're going to make the cashew sour cream. And this is a super easy recipe, and honestly use it for everything. If you have a really high speed blender, you don't have to soak them, but I still soak them. I find that they blend a lot smoother. These have been soaking for a couple of hours, but if you don't have a couple of hours, if you can soak them overnight is the best, because then they really get soft, and then you don't need a super high speed blender. Any blender will do it. But a shortcut is to take boiling water and cover your cashews just for 30 minutes. And that's actually enough to soften them up. So I'm just going to drain these guys in my sink. Now I doubled the recipe here again, because I'm making it for a large amount of people. I'm just bringing over my blender here. There we go. So This is 2 cups, but normally you would put 1 cup of cashews. And then normally you would put a half a cup of water to the 1 cup of cashews. I'm doubling this, so that's why it looks like a whole lot more. And I'm just using some filtered water. Any water will do. You may need to add more. I usually notice that for this recipe, it gets really thick and it thickens in the fridge. So if you're having trouble blending the 1 cup in your blender, just add a bit more water a little bit at a time. I'll just save some water on the side when I need it, if I need it. Okay, and then we're gonna need, you would need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Because I'm doubling the dose, I'm gonna go to 2. So fresh lemon juice is best. So I'm just gonna squeeze it here on the side. And there's 1 tablespoon. And again, I'm doubling the dose, so that's 2 tablespoons. So that's approximately would be 1/4 of a lemon squeezed as a quick reference. And then it's 3/4 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Oops, there we go. Apple cider vinegar. And apple cider vinegar is touted for a lot of health benefits. Remember, it's got that mother in it, so look, it's called the mother. I don't know why. I hope nobody refers to me that way, but it's all crud at the bottom of the apple cider vinegar jar, but it's actually, you know, apparently very healthy for you. So shake it up so that the mother gets mixed up. And again, I'm doubling the recipe. So I'm doing 1.5 teaspoons, but you would do 3/4 of a teaspoon. And this is going to provide the lemon. It sounds weird to put lemon and cider vinegar, but this adds that little bit of tanginess that sour cream usually has. And basically then we just add a pinch of mineral salt or sea salt, which I'm going to do here. There's my pinch. I doubled a pinch, so 2 pinches. And that's it. Now we're going to blend it. Let's see if my blender actually lets me blend it. I have to maybe move my camera over because the plug may not reach. So let's just move this over here. Plug it in. And maybe I'll turn it around so you can see. There we go. Oh, you'll be able to see through the front camera, never mind the overhead camera. Okay, so we'll start. And I let it kind of blend through a bit, and then I turn it up. Sorry for the sound. You can mute it. So the Vitamix is like, again, I'm not selling a product, but a good blender is a best friend to me. But the Vitamix actually blends things so strongly that it actually heats it. So if you have a Vitamix and your sour cream is warm, don't be alarmed. Just put it in the fridge, but you can see that there's steam coming off. I don't know if you can see that, but the edges are steamy. That's just the Vitamix, blending it to oblivion. But look how creamy it is. It is so creamy, and you're going to see this tomorrow. The taste is out of this world. And so I would store this in a glass mason jar. So I'm going to put it in this mason jar. This is how you're going to see me serve it tomorrow. But you see it, watch how smooth it is. I don't know if you can see that. It basically pours in. It will thicken up over the course of time in the fridge. And this is good for about a week in the fridge. After that, it starts to get kind of, I don't know, just kind of weird, thicker, kind of waterier, I guess. It releases some of the water. So that's it. Sour cream. Now, I have some extra, but I can show you if you like the taste of sriracha mayo, in a sandwich even, you can use this. Now, again, these are cashews, so they are higher in calories, but again, there's a whole lot of nutrition here. You're getting polyunsaturated, so those healthy fats instead of the saturated fats that you would get in a dairy sour cream. But you're also getting a whole lot of calcium and iron and vitamins and minerals, potassium, magnesium in the nut itself. They are calorie bombs. So this is not meant to be eaten tablespoon at a time, but it's meant to be kind of drizzled on top of your, burritos, or your on top of your potatoes as a side. But it's just know that it's a healthier option. And if you like to spice it up, I use a bit of Frank's Red Hot. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Frank's Red Hot. You could also use any kind of like hot sauce, and you put some drops in it. I'm actually going to make this so that my son has this tomorrow to spread on his sandwich. Oh, there's my spoon. So again, I'm not measuring it. You just add it to flavor, but it gives you that sriracha mayo, and you could put it in a squirt bottle and then squirt it on like they do in the restaurants. There you go. I'll probably put a bit more because I think he likes it spicy. Like that. I couldn't help myself. It's so good. So let's just see, for curiosity's sake, if the potatoes are looking a little bit crispy. It might be too soon. No, it's not too soon. Okay, so that's been 9 minutes. This has been 9 minutes in the air fryer, and look at them. I mean, come on, right? So I'm going to put these in a bowl so I can bring them even closer. They are hot, so be careful. Do not burn yourself. So I'm going to bring these right up here. Look at that. They are so crispy. And they will be crispy on the outside, but because they're like a cooked potato, they will be kind of soft on the inside. So it's pretty awesome. Like, they taste so good. So how would you eat this? Well, you could top it with the salsa that we have also made, and I have a video of that. But if you want to be plain Jane about it and you haven't made the salsa, you could side this with some broccoli. So again, if you create half of your plate with non-starchy veggies like broccoli or baked Brussels sprouts, or you could put asparagus in your basket as well, and do some air fried asparagus, air fried Brussels sprouts with a little bit of balsamic dressing. Works so well with this. So half your plate with non-starchy veggies, you got the other half of your plate with starchy veggies, and then you could top it with, again, if you could get some plain black beans to get some more fiber and some more protein in there. So you've got the beans, and then you can top it with, a little bit of salsa. Don't be fooled by the Tostitos label. I like this because it doesn't have any sugar in it. Tostitos actually has really all natural ingredients, tomato puree, diced tomatoes, tomato juice, calcium, jalapeno peppers, onions, vinegar, salt, and garlic powder. They also say natural flavor, which I'm not sure what that means, but it's still better than sugar. So this is actually one that doesn't contain sugar. Old El Paso, no offense, Old El Paso, but that actually contains sugar in it, which is probably why it tastes a bit sweeter. Anyways, if you top these with a little bit of salsa like this, And then you dabble a little bit of, just a little bit of sour cream. And again, if you hear my kids in the background arguing, that's real life right now. That's how it looks. Go look for a different one. Can you stop? Because I'm on video. That's what I do when my kids are arguing too. Anyhow, you've got some really healthy, very delicious stuffed potatoes that will be completely satiating, and you will feel like you're treating yourself, but this is super low in calories. So again, if you are looking to lose weight, this is a great way to make yourself feel full without feeling deprived. You're low in calories, but high in nutrition. And these are the kind of meals that you want to do that you can prepare on the spot. And you can mix up the veggie every day. You can mix up the topping every day and make it your own. So I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to any feedback you have about this recipe and others that I share. All right, let's see you in class.